Hello YouTube, I am the Disgruntled Reviewer and I have just seen something which has led to me producing this very spontaneous video. Now, I apologise in advance for the quality of this video. I'm making it in a relative hurry. I just watched this in the morning and look, I'm going to turn this around because I'm watching it on a screen, so the quality will be terrible because you'll just be seeing scenes from the screen from here. Now, I just watched a new well, it's not a new SpongeBob episode, technically it's a 4 years old SpongeBob episode called One Course Meal. And what can I possibly say about One Course Meal? I'm just going to have to show you things from it, which is why I've got my screen there. I would love to just download it, but I took a quick look, I couldn't find it anywhere, so that I could put it onto this video. I mean, I never want to watch this episode again. Let me just show you why. See that really upbeat music? Happy music. Also, notice how many writers there are. Casey Alexandra, Zeus Service, and Mr. Lawrence. 3 writers. And you wouldn't believe it. And you wouldn't believe with this happy music how freaking non-upbeat this episode is going to be. It's just ridiculously awful. Okay, so blah blah blah. Start off, Mr. Krabs is having a money bath. Generally, I don't see why so many people claim this character is behaving out of character for him. In recent episodes, he's still generally money obsessed. Still generally, you know, he's still Mr. Krabs as far as I can tell. But okay, so now Plankton has one of his evil schemes to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. Blah blah blah, explosion, blah 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 blah.
Get worked up over this, Krabs. Just give me the secret formula and I'll be on my way. Yay? Get me. I implore you to reconsider. I have ways of getting the information I need. Where's the formula, Krabs? Still not gonna talk, eh, Krabs? Okay, Krabs, I see you're not gonna crack. But I don't think your underling is of the same metal.
I'll never talk.
We'll see what Mr. Feather has to say about that.
Okay, but I don't know how to get into the safe behind the painting in Mr. Krabs' office. The house is the secret formula. He won't let me near it.
I'm sorry, what? After all the times that he's not given out the location of the Krabby Patty secret formula to Plankton before, after all the resilience he's shown before, he would just randomly spout out the location? I mean, I might expect this from Patrick, but this is SpongeBob. He's not that dumb. Okay. So, blah 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 blah, more blah blah stuff happens, but then, okay, look at this. Pearl comes in. I'm just gonna...
Clever. Behind the painting, eh, Krabs? Incidentally, what am I smelling? You got something burning?
Smells like blubber to me.
Blubber? Hey! Call off your daughter, Krabs! Call her off!
Here's the thing, why is he suddenly scared of Pearl? I mean, I know there's going to be a whole thing, because I just watched it about whales eating plankton, which I'm not going to deny will of course happen with filter feeding through the bathing, but here's the thing, why is he has interacted with Pearl on numerous episodes before, and not shown 1 ounce of fear. Why is he now terrified of her? It makes no sense. Anyhow.
She's a big girl, Plankton. I have no control over what she does. Oh, you better watch out. I think she's extra hungry today.
That's just taunting him on the fact that she could eat him. This is just mean.
Stay back, Will. I'm privy to what you do to organisms like me. I've seen those documentaries.
Did he just go into the freezer?
Don't say it.
I
salad over plankton anyway.
So, in this society where you get punished severely for littering and pathetic minor things, although I do think there need to be harsher fines on littering, at least in areas where they're very close to rubbish bins. Anyway, in this society where pathetic little crimes like that can give you no time, well, can give you jail time, and this murder by eating each other, because all of these beings in here that we've seen, aside from a few species, apparently interact in a human-like society. So you're allowed to eat each other. Not only that, but Pearl has eaten enough plankton and enough salad, but that's not important, but enough plankton to be able to compare its taste with salad. I am sorry, but this is just twisted. I'm just going to fast forward a bit more of this.
You're getting more like your old man every day.
Okay, blah blah blah.
Plankton is scared.
I'll just fast forward a little bit.
There you go, buy yourself something pretty.
Okay, so look,
No, it's even better. This is what Mr. Krabs pays me with.
Mr. Krabs pays him with fake money. Okay, that's not too out of character, but I'm sure we've seen him giving him actual money, and in other episodes actually trying to charge him to work there. So, if he does that, how is he simultaneously paying him wacky bucks? It makes no sense, unless this is just a recent thing he started doing. But,
Mr. Krabs is wacky bucks.
I'm starting to catch up.
I'm just gonna fast forward. Okay, so we see Karen, she doesn't even bother to support Plankton at all. I mean, we've seen her in the past be sort of not particularly nice, really, but she at least says something that helps usually. Okay, then he has a flashback, and you see his ancestors get eaten by whales. And then this happens. Yeah.
That should keep her out.
I want plankton meat.
Holy protozoa!
So yeah, he's being attacked by what he thinks is Pearl, and Karen doesn't believe him, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. He goes to show Plankton. No, sorry, he goes to show Karen, and somehow she disappeared. And then look what happens. 16 days of paranoia and torment. This is what he's been going through because Pearl has been doing this to him, has been following him around, threatening to eat him. And look what he becomes. Oh my goodness, that is terrifying.
Can you bring it up? I can't risk stepping into the light. The whales might see me.
He's laughing at the fact that he's turned his former best friend, as we've seen in other episodes, in flashbacks, into a shivering, quivering, terrified mess. It's just wrong. I mean, look, he's now having a nightmare, a terrifying looking nightmare, about being chased and eaten by Pearl. And now look at this. He's meeting the same relatives we saw in that episode where he got all of his relatives to attack the Krusty Krab. I like this as a piece of continuity.
Trying to raise to the family. Granddad?
Yep, and you're pretty brave staying in that there gastric acid.
Gastric acid? I can't take it. This is driving me crazy.
I'm sorry, you are tormenting this guy cruelly. But look, this is where it gets really bad. Really, really bad. Okay?
What's the point of going on? I'll just be tortured for the rest of my life by that whale. That's it, I'm done. The 4:15 bus should be along any time now.
Hi, Plankton. What's he doing laying in the middle of the road?
Go away, cheesehead. Can't you see I'm trying to get run over?
Wait, sorry, what?
Hi, Plankton. What's he doing laying in the middle of the road?
Go away, cheesehead. Can't you see I'm trying to get run over?
You have actually... Mr. Krabs has actually driven Plankton to suicide. And they are making this like a joke. I mean, if you look at, what's-his-face, Casey Alexander, one of the writers of this, on Twitter, he said, when people complained about this, that this suicide attempt was done in a light-hearted and fun way, and therefore it was acceptable to the family. Let me just say this right now. There is nothing funny about clinical depression, or about suicide, or about psychological torment. Okay? I just want that to be clear.
In fact, better yet, just step on me as hard as you can when you do that, Bobby.
I'm sorry, Plankton, but that flies in the face of my good nature.
Your good nature. I remember when you had good nature. I also remember all those horrible things you've knowingly done badly to Squidward. And how in this very episode you revealed the location of the Krabby Patty secret formula for no obvious reason, under threat of being tickled. You have no good nature, Spongebob. None.
I'll just wait for the next bus. Go on back to the Krusty Krab and enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Hang on. Look, you're claiming to have good nature, Spongebob. You're claiming to. And what just happened? Rather than do what any good-natured guy would and try to talk your friend out of killing himself, you just leave him. When he says go away, you say, okay. That is not what a good-natured citizen would do. It is not what a good-natured citizen would do. It is not what most citizens would do. It is just cruel. And look at this. Look. Listen. Goodbye, Pipsqueak. So, he is intentionally trying to get Plankton to kill himself. He popped out a picture. He wants Plankton gone. He wants Plankton dead. This is practically murder. And he's laughing about it. I mean, sure, it was okay when Mr. Krabs was a complete money-grabbing, miserly sort. But this isn't money-grabbing, miserly sort behaviour. This is the kind of thing we'd expect Blight from Batman Beyond to be doing.
Wrap your gloating, sir. I just thought it would be pertinent for you to know that Plankton's laying in the street. Forlorn.
Really? He's a mess.
Mr. Krabs,
He laughed at a guy trying to kill himself.
oh, you and Plankton are sworn enemies and all, but putting on a dress to frighten him, isn't that taking it a little too far?
My point exactly.
Did I remind you of the fact that you disclosed the location of the safe where I keep the secret formula?
Okay, blah blah blah.
Location of this... I just wanted to let you know that the Krabby Patty secret formula is not, I repeat, not in the safe behind the painting of the Krusty Krab.
Why,
So now we think that SpongeBob actually is being good-natured. We think that he actually is going to try and help Plankton. I said think. Just watch this scene and see why I said think.
I can. All meaning has left my life ever since I've been plagued by that blasted whale.
It's okay. Everybody has a secret fear. For instance, Mr. Krabs' secret fear is...
Really?
Mm-hmm. And guess what else? That was Mr. Krabs in a whale suit that you've been scared of.
You mean this entire time it's been Krabs masquerading as a whale? Why, the conniving bottom feeder!
Well, luckily you wouldn't have any use for such innocuous information, would you?
Of course not.
Alrighty. Back to your self-destructive behavior, Plankton.
Back to your self-destructive behaviour, Plankton. This is a kid's show.
Oh, no, thank you.
Please no, actually, I want to point something out. This episode, according to several people, is the first time really that we see Mr. Krabs cross something. And that something is generally known as, well, a point of no return. What Mr. Krabs is doing to Plankton's mind in this episode is beyond forgivable. But now Plankton knows about it. And he will have vengeance, hopefully.
Ooh, this is too much fun. I think I found my second calling.
See, he's tormenting him for fun. See, this has nothing to do with business now, because he's making enough money without Plankton anyway. And we're viewing Plankton here as the villain, but look at Mr. Krabs. He's psychologically tormenting a guy for fun. He pays his employees in fake money. And that's just the stuff in this episode.
Plankton ain't even a challenge no more. Oh, is that so? Plankton? Oh, back for more, are you? Oh, well, here goes. Ooh, you don't scare me, Krabs. I ain't Krabs. I mean...
I'm Pearl, not Krabs.
The jigger's up, Krabs. I know all about the suit. And your secret fear.
Secret fear?
What are you talking about? See for yourself. Enjoy the show. No. 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 Make it stop. Make it stop.
Now, we would assume that this is a valid way of Plankton getting back at Mr. Krabs. He's slightly tormenting him with the mine, and it's going to end on a fun, yay, he's getting Mr. Krabs back note. But no, because as we see now, this was Mr. Krabs' plan all along. Mr. Krabs isn't really scared of mines. No, Mr. Krabs gets no comeuppance at all in this episode. This was just a diversion so that Spongebob, the good-natured, fun, jellyfishing main character we all know and love from our childhoods, Spongebob can torment Plankton even further than Krabs has been doing by projecting an image of a pod of whales in front of the Krusty Krab. So we've seen this character go through enough. We don't want to see him in any more pain.
Well, you redeemed yourself, boy. Okay, you really got creeped out now.
Now, you basically saw almost all of that episode, really, with what I showed there. And it is an insult to Nickelodeon as a company in general. But it is more an insult to SpongeBob SquarePants, which as a kid was one of my favourite films. And they have completely ruined it. Yes, you know what was worse? What is worse is that is not the worst SpongeBob episode. In fact, the one which I think is the worst, I'm now going to have, because I've done this, I'm now going to have to review the one which I think is the worst. And that one that I think is the worst is Vikings! Exclamation mark. Anyway, my problem with this episode, as you've seen, is every single thing about it. Suicide is not funny. Psychological torment is not funny. The viewers do not want to see a guy who, at least in this episode, has psychologically tortured a guy for fun, a guy who we already know to be very miserly and money-oriented, a guy who we've seen to do extremely selfish and cruel things, and a guy who plays his a guy who pays his employees in fake money. We do not want to view this guy as a hero. We do not want to support this character. We do not want to see him continue to punish Plankton. And I know Plankton has done evil things, but nothing that even approaches this level of barbaric treatment. And Casey Alexander considers this fun and light-hearted. Well, I don't. With that said, though, this episode did have quite a few funny scenes, and it was well animated. But that does not make up for its content. I'm the Disgruntled Reviewer. I'm amazed that my dog has managed to be silent and asleep on the sofa throughout this video. And that's it. Cheerio. Subscribe if you want to. And I apologise for the quality, which was terrible, because I'm feeling from there. Thanks for watching.